So when it comes to writing words for your own website, you've got a choice to make. You can either go first person, which is the I, me, my angle, or you can go third person. You know, John is not totally terrible at this kind of angle. Now, there are pros and cons for both. You might think that the I, me, my is warmer, friendlier, that kind of thing, or you might go the third person route thinking that, hey, if somebody else is saying these things, it makes it seem more professional, or it makes it seem like I've got a team, I'm bigger than I am, or, you know, there's probably a persuasion angle in there as well. You know, if I say John is not totally terrible at this, it's a little bit more convincing than if I'm not totally terrible at this. It seems like somebody else is saying it. So even though I'm going to open this with it depends, I still want to give you something to think about, especially if you're a solo business owner, especially if you're a service provider too. If you're an entrepreneur, or a business owner, freelancer, that kind of thing, I think first person is the way to go. And it's not just from the angle of it's a great way to get across your humour and stuff like that, which you might think is the angle I'm going to go with. I think there's something else to think about here, and it's to do with the entire website. Because if I ask most people what the purpose of their website is, they might say to get customers or to earn money. And they'd be right, obviously that's why you do it, we don't do these things for fun. But let's really get into the nitty gritty of what a website actually does. So if you're a service professional and you've got a service that is going to cost maybe several $100s, maybe $1,000, something like that. If you're selling mid to high ticket items on a service website or you're a solopreneur, think about what the purpose of the website really is. I land on your website, let's say I'm looking, let's say I want to bond with my kids over our mutual love for Poirot. Now, they're not there yet with the mutual love part, hopefully one day. But let's say I'm looking for a French tutor, and I think that if I get my kids a banging French tutor, then they'll appreciate Poirot, the finer points, the intricacies, and that kind of, it'll just be one step closer to getting to that mutual love stage. So if I'm looking for a modern languages tutor online, I'm just Googling it. I might use the keyword Poirot, I don't know. But I'm going to look online, I'm going to find somebody that I don't know anybody. So I look online, I find a website. The odds are I'm not going to pay them money just straight off that website. That website is going to have to do something spectacular for me to go, oh my God, take my money now. But what that website, the goal of that website is to get me to pick up the phone and find out more. It's to make the shortlist. It's to not rule this person out. And this happened to me when I learned this when I was a magician. Most people just want to find out more. That's the real goal of the website, is to give the customer enough information so they go, I want to find out more from this guy. And here's where the power of first person comes in. Forget the Poirot, forget the French lessons just for a moment. Here's where the power of the first person comes in. Because I was thinking about this recently when I was doing a bunch of critiques for websites. Now, even though I'm giving people things they need to improve on and aspects that could be better, a couple of them I had to start by saying, look, whatever you do with this website, don't change the tone. Don't change the tone. Because even though there are things I could look at and go, this could be a little bit better, the tone was perfect. It was absolutely brilliant. Even just a quick skim read of the website was enough to make me think, oh, I'd phone this person. The energy was there, the humour was there. It's not about being funny, but it's just about being light-hearted. I was able to quickly skim their website and realise that this was a light-hearted person. They were going to be very easy to talk to. We're going to have a relaxed conversation. So the idea of picking up the phone to speak to them wouldn't be that scary. Because let's face it, you know, it's like the first time you phone Babestation and you get in touch with Doris, Ethel and Brenda at Babestation. The first time you phone Babestation, it's very scary, very intimidating. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what the end conversation is going to be like. Is it going to be easy? Is it going to be difficult? But once Doreen gets you on the blower, it's easy. So that's what you're trying to do with a website. And if you've got this first person angle and you're getting your personality across and you're relaxed and you are how you would be on the phone, it gives the customer, it knocks down one of the barriers. But if your website says, John is not totally terrible at this, it's very formal, it's professional in the sense of, you're using a lot of power words and it doesn't feel like, if the customer's not getting anything from the website in terms of, it doesn't really tell me anything about you, then that phone call is going to be so hard. It's going to be, you're less likely to make it. It's a little bit of friction because picking up the phone and talking to a stranger is very hard to do. But if your website's got a bit of personality, if it's in your tone, if it's in your voice, maybe you've got just a really relaxed style, then picking up the phone is just a little bit easier. And often it's those little bits of reduced friction that will make all the difference. So it's not about being funny. It's not about being hilarious or using this amount of GIFs or GIFs or whatever you want to call them. I think the first person thing, the real power in the first person thing, is getting the person to feel confident to pick up the phone. It knocks down the first awkward 10 seconds of, I wonder what this person's going to be like, that you wouldn't have if you would have if you rang a strange number. The website is a real good key to getting the phone call. And if you're hiding behind words that you would never normally say, or a personality or a character that is put on for a website in the hopes of being, here's those quotes again, professional, if you're doing that, you're missing out. And the other advantage is once you put your personality on your website, not only does it attract people who go, oh, I really love this, but anybody who looks at that and goes, I can tell she wouldn't be for me, they're off. And you never have to call them. Put your personality up there, you'll attract dream clients and repel the nightmare ones. It's a double win. So that's the one thing I always think about. It's not about being funny. It's not about being humorous. It's not about anything like that or being clever. It's just about putting a bit of you up there so it gives them a sense of, I know what this person's going to be like if I pick up the phone. That's the real goal. That's the real benefit of doing this first person natural web copy. So if you are putting together a website, or you do have especially if you've got a service business and you're selling mid to high ticket offers, think about this. So let's continue this action of adding a call to action for today. If you've got a page on your website that you're directing people to, especially cold traffic, people who don't know you from anybody else, have a look at it and just scan it for, just maybe take that first step of looking at it and thinking, is this a fair representation of what it would be like to speak to me? If it's not, that's a problem. Because when they pick up the phone, they're going to be like, whoa, it's going to cause that kind of disconnect. And that's another piece of friction. You want this to be as smooth as possible. They talk about this in copy, this kind of slippery slope. It applies to every moment of the customer journey. Give them something that doesn't cause them to have this kind of disconnect or doesn't cause them to stop in their tracks. Just make it nice and easy for them. So look over your homepage or whatever page people visit and just have a quick look at it and say, is this something I would say? Is this true to who I am? Does this reflect my personality, my character? If they picked up the phone and called me after reading this, would they go, oh yeah, this seems like the same person? So that's the call to action I want you to do today. Have a look at your website and just run it through that kind of filter. And if you've got any questions, fire them below. You should like, share and subscribe to your favourite YouTube channels, obviously, not mine, mine's terrible. But do it to those because they need the support. But any questions, fire them below and I'm happy to help. Have a good day.